Welcome into the Friday, June 12th edition of the 2-Minute Drill. Many of you have seen the ESPN startup draft that was circulating, so we decided to try our hand at it at PFF with the help of Evan Silva and Josh Hermsmeyer. So looking at just the first two rounds of that draft, where you're trying to win a Super Bowl in a 5-year window, no contracts don't matter. Which pick was your favorite from that draft?
I got to go with Dr. Eric Eager for the Seahawks at pick 27, getting Chris Godwin, and then back again at 38, getting Travis Kelce, just because wide receiver is the second most valuable position on the field, not in a good spot for a quarterback at pick 27, and he got the most valuable wide receiver in the NFL last season in Chris Godwin, and the second most valuable tight end at 38 in Travis Kelce. I think that's a Super Bowl winning offense that you fielded right there.
Yikes. Chris Godwin, no thank you. First receiver off the board, I could not be on board with that. My favorite pick was coming from George Chahuri when he took Tyreek Hill at 34th overall for the Kansas City Chiefs. The fact that he was the third or fourth receiver taken off the board is absurd. I would have Tyreek Hill over Chris Godwin every day of the week.
I'm going to go towards the back end of that second round. I think it was Kevin Cole taking Jamal Adams at pick 60. That's one of the better safeties. You can make the argument he is the best safety in the NFL. One of the more valuable positions on a defense, and he can really play everywhere, do it all. I really like that pick at the back end of the second.
Now that we did favorite pick, what is your guys' least favorite pick?
So after praising George, I'm going to have to call out one of his worst picks. Jimmy Garoppolo at 13, and your goal is to win a Super Bowl in 5 years when Drew Brees, Tua Tagovailoa, Kirk Cousins, Tom Brady are all still on the board. I take Cam Newton over Jimmy G. I can't get on board with that. He has not been a highly graded passer in PFF over the past few years, struggled to elevate above a game manager, struggled to elevate the talent of his supporting cast. I am not in a position, when you're picking 13th of all the players in the NFL, you're taking Jimmy Garoppolo, especially with those names still on the board. That was my least favorite pick, probably the biggest reach in my opinion.
And for me, it was the fact that Michael Thomas and Julio Jones went after guys like A.J. Brown and Kenny Golladay. I know you're factoring in age here, but Thomas and Julio are two of the three best wide receivers in the NFL. They're both still going to be in their primes for a large portion of that window. I just think you can't put those guys ahead of top-of-the-line wide receivers like that.
Yeah, Austin, I didn't agree with you on your favorite pick, but I think I got to side with you on that least favorite pick. But I'm going to have to go with our guy, Timo, picking Matt Ryan 6th overall, ahead of Dak Prescott, ahead of Joe Burrow. And I know Matt Ryan, he's a very underrated quarterback. I think he is. I think he could maybe win the MVP this year. I mean, it's a dark horse, long shot, but he's coming off his second worst season we have on him in our database as far as PFF passing rate goes. I'm not very optimistic for his future at 35 years old. I'd rather get someone like Dak Prescott, who was one of the more valuable quarterbacks of the NFL season last year, and Joe Burrow, who is by far the best prospect we've ever come across. So I got to say that's my least favorite pick.
I am absolutely baffled no one brought up the Jabril Peppers pick in the second round. That was absurd. To take him in the first 60 players of an NFL redraft, it's mind-boggling. Could not believe that. Let's pivot gears here a little bit, go away from the redraft and talk about breakout running backs. Kevin Cole is doing a breakout running back series on PFF.com right now. Ben, of these three names, who would you say has got the best chance to be a breakout in 2020? Devin Singletary, Darrell Henderson, or the Chicago Bears, David Montgomery?
None of those names get me super excited, but I think I'm going to go with Montgomery. If you go back to what he did at Iowa State, he broke over 100 tackles as a runner and receiver in both 2017 and 2018. That's absurd. And that carried over to the NFL last year with the Bears. It was 8th among projected starters next season in forced missed tackles per touch. I just think he needs to work on his game as a receiver and turning those missed tackles into bigger plays. But Singletary is going to be pushed by Moss, and Henderson's really an unknown at this point.
Yeah, no disagreements here. Just because David Montgomery, he does what you need to do at the running back position well at the NFL level. He breaks tackles, and he showed that last year. And he didn't really have those flashy 50, 60-yard breakaway runs on a consistent basis. But he showed he was elusive both as a ball carrier and a receiver. And I would like to see Matt Nagy kind of utilize his receiving ability a little bit more, because I think when you have those David Montgomery and Tariq Cohen on the field at the same time, I think that's going to cause some headaches for some defenses. So I'm going to have to go with David Montgomery. I think he's got a better chance to break out in 2020.
Yeah, I think David Montgomery is the obvious option. I think he's going to have the better volume compared to those three running backs. And if you think about the other two, Devin Singletary and Zach Moss will compete for touches. Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers, the recently drafted Florida State back, will compete for touches. I think David Montgomery, a better opportunity, even with Tariq Cohen, to see more touches in that offense, more elusive as well. You saw that at Iowa State. So I'm going to go Montgomery as well. I couldn't agree more.
You want to get rid of me and get back to more great PFF YouTube content? All you have to do is push that button right there and subscribe. Thanks for watching.